Hello, this is Professor Werweth. There were some slides from Friday that I was not able to show due to lack of time. I thought I would share them with you today and now, to have you watch them at your leisure. Effectively, this is the director's overview. 3 things that I wanted you to know about MEM that most people may not be aware. At least at NU McCormick, we are the oldest and original professional master's program. We were pioneers in the idea that somehow MS programs do not necessarily lead to a PhD. They're also intended for professionals who want to go beyond their undergrad to learn their craft, as well as practitioners who want to understand perhaps an adjacent field in a more meaningful, deeper way. As a practitioner-focused program, obviously we do not require a thesis. We also do not require projects, but we certainly do encourage them. And we have all sorts of projects, from internships to classroom projects to projects that are extracurricular and company sponsored. So we are just as selective as Kellogg. In fact, we're just as selective as many of the most prestigious MBA programs, where they have enrollments of 300,000 per year. We in aggregate MEM programs enroll closer to 3,000 per year. So that's a 100-to-1 ratio. It's obviously, something that we're all, often do as we compare MEM to MBA, but the MBA is 100 times larger in aggregate, and will always have better brand recognition because of it. On the other hand, there's many dozens of specialized professional master's programs around the world, and they are gaining in popularity. If you talk to senior leaders, the MBA has lost some of its prestige because the idea of teaching anyone with experience or not all of the intricacies of running a business, right, in a 22-course MBA is unrealistic. I think many companies now are looking at more narrow, specialized fields, and having people who have expertise, whether it's finance or accounting or marketing or even operations management. So having that kind of 12-course, narrower, more specialized masters has become much more popular, which is why I think you see professional masters growing outside of the MBA, and in some cases at the expense of MBA programs, which in some parts of the world are starting to shut down. Already engineers make up some of the best CEOs worldwide. That HBR article from November 2014 talks about 24 HBR, 100 best performing CEOs have undergrad or grad degrees in engineering, compared to 29 who have MBAs. But of those 29, 8 of them actually have both. So you could say 21 MBAs with no engineering background versus 24 engineering background CEOs. So the numbers basically say that it's obviously a very popular background and training ground for CEOs around the world. We believe in the T-shaped individual, right? You come to us with a depth of knowledge in one particular area. That area can be mechatronics. That area can be a variety of different bioengineering, chemical engineering, cybersecurity. You've come here to build on that. And to build on that, we're talking about a breadth of knowledge here. So that's management in general, business, understanding that link between engineers and business, how to commercialize products, how to bring products to market. That's why you came here, for that breadth of knowledge, right? Beyond that, you also have the ability to create that second vertical. That second vertical for many of you will be analytics. So you'll have that some technical depth in analytics combined with that breadth of knowledge, and you'll be a much more valuable individual in the workplace, right? My background includes 30 years of experience in engineering. New product development was my specialty. I spent virtually my entire career, I would say 24 out of those 30 years, in project management at companies like Motorola, building PM offices. I also worked at Northrop inside of a PM office, program management office, and at companies like WMS Gaming, where I also built and managed program offices, specifically in all cases focused on new product development. My responsibilities here in MEM are very different. However, I am a director of a program, ironically, but my job is to accept only the best students. So the best are the ones surrounding you today, surrounding you in your classes every day. So rest assured, we've already done a a lot of filtering to make sure that we've got, excellent students in the classroom with you. My job is to keep the curriculum relevant and to keep it current and to keep it practical, right? So I want to make MEM as practical as I can. We want to network students to the community of seasoned professionals. I want you to graduate with not just a bunch of knowledge or a degree in hand and a bunch of great experiences, but I also want you to have a network of folks that you can tap into for careers, internships, advice. And of course, that means that in the long run, you're going to be giving back to us as well. So you become that network as you leverage the network throughout your career. My ultimate job is to create leaders, technology and engineering leaders, and I do that by stretching students beyond your comfort zone, right? So whether it's putting you on projects, having you do poster sessions, attend conferences, give talks, I'm here to basically put you in situations that you normally wouldn't be encountering in your day-to-day life, right? Beliefs and philosophy. We believe that STEM professionals learn best by doing, hence the emphasis on projects both in and outside the classroom. Each course will have, or likely have, an applied aspect, right? A project to pursue, some sort of final deliverable that comes from teams typically. So you'll be working in teams of 3, 4, maybe 5 students at a time. We believe communications is a key to success and hence is included in every course. We don't have a course called communications, but we have a communications component in every course, okay? And that's, therefore, it supplements, we can supplement that every year with a communication workshop, which is typically held in the winter. And the purpose of that is for those who want additional help with their verbal or written communications to be able to have some specialized focus on that outside of the classroom. We believe MEM students need to learn the systems of business, right? We do not believe that business is formulaic. We don't believe that you can learn from case studies only and directly and by copying cases from the past. Those patterns that you learn now will have to be adapted to new situations in every sense of the word in the future. MEM students need to develop their own voice, and part of that whole exercise you had in leadership on Friday was all about developing your voice, understanding what you believe, and how you can articulate that in front of people that you're trying to lead, right? What is your teachable point of view? What is your leadership, if you will, strategy or your leadership philosophy that you can share with others and make it compelling for them? Okay, why should people follow you, right? You can't lead others until you understand and are able to lead yourself. We fully believe that. We're here to help you earn a place at the table of business, okay? Towards that end, you need to learn the terminology and the practices. You need to learn what makes a successful business. Case studies are often used as examples, but they're not used as solutions. Don't ever get those two confused, right? As examples, you can learn what others have done in the past, but that's meant only as a guide. It's not meant as a recipe. We want you and we expect you to learn how to successfully innovate, right? We're very focused on innovation. This MEM program has always been about radical innovation, transformational change, right? And bringing new products and systems into the market. My favorite analogy and example will probably, at least for the next few years, be Tesla, Elon Musk, SpaceX, the companies that he's been able to innovate by bringing in new technology and new ways of looking at the ecosystem that surrounds that technology. Lastly, we need you and we expect you to become familiar with some of the best and most recent technologies impacting business, right? Whether it's electrification, autonomy, artificial intelligence, machine learning. These are all going to be technologies that are being leveraged for years, possibly for years and years to come. With that, let's move on. MEM values, right? So what are our values? Collaboration, right? We've talked about collaboration. Not that we're naive and think you'll never compete. Of course, you'll have to compete, but there's no need to create unnecessary competition, right? Unnecessary meaning inside the house versus outside the house, right? There's always going to be competitive products, services, and businesses that want to take you out, right? the best way to prevail is to be focused on your strategy, be focused on where you're taking your business, collaborate to the best extent possible to bring the best players onto your team and to prevail, right? And if you're focused on mimicking or mirroring your competitor, you're way too focused then on playing catch up when you should be the leader, right? I mean, MEM, as I said, I'm here to make leaders out of you, and you're here to make leading businesses in your industry, right? So therefore, we do not apply formulaic solutions, but rather use a root cause analysis approach, right? Be very cautious when trying to learn through case studies, right? We prefer to innovate rather than clone a solution. So solutions that have worked in the past, we do not believe are necessarily going to work in the future. Radical innovation is preferred when trying to disrupt an industry, okay? So if you're trying to adapt to an industry as it is, then incremental innovation might work, but we believe radical innovation is often needed in a time of disruption, which as we sit here in 2021, who could argue that we're not in a time of disruption? This is clearly between the pandemic, climate change, economic chaos, political chaos. You can only conclude this for the foreseeable future is a time of chaos and radical change, right? Continual process improvement. So that doesn't mean because you're radically innovating that you shouldn't be also incrementally improving over time. So that incremental stuff comes from process improvement. You get that kind of content in, say, the 416 class or any kind of course that focuses on Six Sigma type technologies. Look at first principles when designing a product or process solution. What do we mean? Fundamentally, we mean unit and techno-economics. We need understanding of learning curves and network effects, but understand at the heart of any problem, right? What are you trying to achieve, right? If you're in the airline business, you're trying to get people from point A to point B at the lowest cost per passenger mile, right? You can gold plate the bathrooms, you can do steak dinners on every flight, but that's not going to solve the fundamental first principles problem of how do you become long-term viable airline in the future, right? And that is lowering your costs to operate, right? TCO, total cost of operation, and getting your cost per passenger mile down to the lowest possible. And if you can be transformative, right, and do something nobody else is doing in the industry, you will likely prevail. We have many distinguished alum. These are some of the alum. You met Jim Martucci on Friday. None of the others, ironically, could make it, but we've got people from the insurance industry, Guru Rao. We've got people from consulting like Shahid, who's also done a tremendous amount of work, and I believe is an expert in the Internet of Things. Iqbal, who is an amazing resource for all of us, former Motorola CTO. Chris Shivik, right in the middle of this chart, CEO of a company called Shure, located approximately maybe 10 miles from the campus, right here in Niles, Illinois. Shure is one of the older companies, but yet a transformed company working in microphonics and other types of hard technologies, right? And of course, John Nelson, lower right, Mr. Analytics himself. He's been doing a startup in the analytics space now for possibly more than 20 years. So applied research is his baby, and he'll be glad to talk to you about it. His business is all about the analytics of businesses, right? So stock performance, things like that. We're also a member of the MEMPC. You'll have a chance to participate. You already do. In fact, poster sessions are coming up. We'll have other sessions as well, career advice, conferences, and possibly a competition later in the year. These are the companies that we draw from. These are the companies that we supply talent to. GoGo Wireless does Wi-Fi equipment on board aircraft systems based here in Chicago, operating out of O'Hare Airport. United Airlines is one of their main customers, also one of our customers. We have a lot of students that either go there or come from there. Kraft is located here. PepsiCo has major offices here. GE and their transportation center, transportation business located here in Chicago. Northrop Grumman has a major division here. Abbott Labs, Citgo, Wrigley. Regularly, we get students from Wrigley. They have their innovation center here in Chicago. Any of these are potentials for also some field trips. So let me know if any of these might be interesting field trips. In terms of outcomes, you can see here the average starting salary for full-time students as of the end of 19 looks to be about $110,000. Of course, we've got seasoned professionals here. We've got experienced people. So that's going to skew our numbers higher compared to, say, an equivalent, let's say a different MEM program that doesn't have experienced people. You'll see a lower number. And it's not because of the quality of the program. It's just the nature of the students in the program. So companies, again, here, Abbott, Deloitte, Walmart, Baxter, Cognizant, McKinsey, these are all companies that have been hiring from us in that period from 16 to 19. Average internship recruitment salaries are around 31 an hour. Almost, I'd say 100% found summer or fall internships or projects as they desired, as they wanted, and it's worked well for them. I went through demographics earlier. These are prior quarter demographics from 2020. You can see, the full-time, part-time split, the fact that we've got, more than 30–40% of our students, 34% who actually have, graduate degrees already coming into MEM. They have a graduate degree. And it's fascinating every time I see an MBA student or an MBA graduate coming and taking MEM afterwards. Occasionally we see it the other way around, but generally speaking, I don't recommend that. The next logical degree, if anyone wants to pursue it, is probably either an analytics degree for a deeper dive or an MSL, Master of Science in Law, so that you can understand the legal aspects of running a business. We all know this is the curriculum. I'm sure if you have any questions by now, you would have brought them up. We've talked about NUvention courses. This transportation course will be offered in the spring. Medical is being offered right now, fall and winter. Arts will likely be in the spring. Web was canceled this year, so my recommendation is if you really wanted NUvention Web, you should take 419. We'll have 2 offerings of 419 this fall and this summer, so you'll have 2 chances to take that class, right? Who teaches for MEM? We have, you can see from 2019, we've got somewhere around 9 unique adjuncts, 5 shared adjuncts, 3 tenured or tenure track faculty, and 5 appointed clinicals. An appointed clinical is nothing more than an adjunct who is working full time. So I worked my way up from unique adjunct to shared adjunct to appointed clinical. The tenured track folks are the ones who are also doing a lot of research, and those are the folks that do a lot of publishing. Teamwork obviously is key for us. You'll see that in 402. You'll see that in virtually every class you take. You met Minu yesterday. This is Urvi. Urvi has worked for the Center for Deep Learning, CDL. I'm sure we've got at least 2 or 3 students working for CDL this year. She went on to some great things in her career, leveraging mostly analytics. One of our other alums, Rebecca Corzad, is now working with NMH. We do have a healthcare systems concentration. She would be the one you work with to put that together. Lake Forest Hospital is shown on the right-hand side. It's an amazing place, and that's where you would be interning. And if you got a full-time job from them, which I think 3 of our students have already, you would find that that's where you would work. They're constantly adding on to this. This whole campus here, this complex, is less than 5 years old. SAB, the last chair we had was Gabrielle Diana. We'll have a chance to put together our student advisory board this year, and hopefully you'll be a part of it. So in my mind, we went through those options with you: student advisory board, MEMPC liaison. We need ambassadors, we need graders, and we need help in the office as well. So I think these are all ways you can get involved, and hopefully you will. So hopefully this was a useful exercise. Let me go through just very, very briefly what you can expect from Canvas, because there's some aspects of Canvas I suspect you haven't seen or haven't paid attention to. I created some discussions, okay? These discussions are areas where you and your fellow students can share ideas and share commentary and maybe share some planning for areas such as energy and sustainability, transportation and mobility, project management, product management, okay? And I guess there's also a section here on MEM events. So, feel free for you guys to use this. You'll notice that I'm referring to the MEM Student Canvas site. Up until now, we've been using the orientation site, the 2021 orientation site. You will see there are some quizzes there that you guys should have filled out. I suspect not all of you did. Let's take a look at the interest survey, right? You can see what the answers were, or how people answered it. So I asked, for example, who was interested in these various areas. Product management, 24 people. These are the names, right, who said they were interested in product management. These are the names who said they were interested in project management. These people often are PMPs, or they want to be PMPs. Energy and sustainability, transportation and mobility, chemical engineering, venture capital, and entrepreneurship. And I would put fintech into this category as well. These are the 4 names that said they were interested in that. The people who said they were willing to lead is virtually everybody. So that's a great response, right? What work opportunities? I think we know who wants to be an ambassador, SAB. We have 21 people who want to be MEMPC liaison. Only 2 or 3 are going to prevail. So I'll just be honest with you, there's going to be somewhere around 18 disappointed people if you're all expecting to be a MEMPC liaison. And then tours, right? The tour of Motorola Solutions, 34 people are there who want to be there. Motorola Mobility in 1871, 24. 26 want to go to M-Hub. 31 want to go to CTI, which is Chicago Tube and Iron. And Lanzatech, in Skokie, we had 17 folks who wanted to do that. So if you look at extracurriculars, we got 66% want to do a communication workshop, 56% want CSM, 66% want CSPO, 54% want interviewing skills. By the way, ECD does this, Engineering Career Development already does this. So I don't think we should spend our time and energy doing things that ECD already has pretty well covered. And then they do the same thing with resume review and research. So I think this is useful to understand the quizzes. Let's take a look at what else here. So we've talked about discussions. We're going to be effectively shutting down the orientation site at this point. I've put in the files section, I've put the content from Friday in a folder called orientation slides. Okay, so actually orientation slide decks. So you'll be able to get to that and to basically access anything we presented to you. And with that, I guess I would like to say thank you again for participating in our session on Friday. Hopefully you found it useful and valuable. I did post on the Canvas site my updated Calendly link, as well as the email addresses of all the alum who participated. So hopefully you weren't overwhelmed and you're getting ready for classes next week. I want to wish you luck in your classes. If you have any issues or questions, you can always set up an email with me or a Calendly meeting with me, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'll see you probably at the kickoff for 402 on Monday. Take care.